Boy, these halftimes come too short, don't they? All right, welcome back here to Salisbury High School here in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Crazy Tom and JJ with you as the Lehigh Valley Storm are about to receive the second half kickoff. They lead by a score of 28-3 as the kickoff is just now happening, and it goes one hop and into the hands of, it looks like, a Clark. Clark along the far sideline gets to about the 25, 30. Skip hops over a man and gets to about the 35-yard line, and that is where the Storm will begin proceedings to start the second half.
Yeah, I would definitely love to know what the Storm coach said at halftime, but you know that they are going to come out and continue to play like this game is 0-0, a full second half of play, and we're going to see what's going to happen.
By number 9, Jaleel Clark.
So Jaleel Clark with a nice return, probably about maybe 25 yards, and Jimmy Lehigh and his crew, hey, it rhymes. I'll have to do a little bit of Dr. Seuss. Ball be spotted at the 36-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Storm. A 28-3 lead. We'll recap a little bit of the first half for you in just a couple of minutes. As Lehigh has 4 receivers, 3 on the left side. Not sure who the single setback is in this particular situation. Lehigh calling signals. Again, the shotgun. I have not seen really a underneath center snap yet in this game. But when you're up 28-3, might as well stick with what works. Lehigh now takes a snap. Thinks about a snap. He's going to run himself and hold close a little too quickly and only gaining a yard to the 37-yard line. He's brought down by not Brian Potter. I'm sorry, it's the wrong 53. That happens to be Doug Borowski out of St. Peter's High School.
Yeah, that was a little mishap there. Raheem Ridley and quarterback Jimmy Lehigh weren't on the same page, so a little bit of a mishap on first down.
Well, they can't necessarily lay back in the second half like they did last week. That's, I think, one of the biggest concerns here. 2nd and 9 from the 37-yard line. Lehigh in the shotgun again. He'll take the snap, and this time a handoff up the middle, crossing the 40, and down to the 42-yard line, and that's Raheem Ridley back to work again, a gain of 5 along right tackle.
And I think that's what they were trying to do on the first play, and they got it right on the second play on a Ridley draw for 5 yards.
So now you have a 3rd and 4 coming up. And right now, the Lehigh Valley Storm looking to try and put a couple exclamation points onto this contest. So 3rd and 4. Ball be spotted about the 42-yard line. Again, the shotgun is Lehigh. He takes a snap, short drop, throws left side, passes caught at midfield, and I'm not sure who it was, but it's going to be a first down as rolling into Predator territory, the 49-yard line. Looks to be Devon Gordon, who had one of the touchdowns in the first half for the Storm.
And Lehigh and these Storm wide receivers really have that little 5 to 7 yard slant on point, and obviously when they need that pickup, that's the play they run, and it always works.
Everything's been working for the Storm since pretty much the beginning. The only thing that's been bad were the 2 missed field goals by Bobby Eppelman, but they really haven't come back to haunt him in any way. 1st and 10 for the Storm. They're at the Predator 49-yard line. Lehigh in the shotgun again. This time man in motion and a fake, and now they're going to go to Sean Meyer around the right side. There he goes again. 45, 40, down to the 38-yard line. Another first down for the Storm as strong safety Luis Bauman was able to bring him down. Gain of 11.
Yeah, and the Lehigh Valley Storm are really loving that fake jet sweep run to the left, and then that inside draw to the right. It's catching the Predator defense off guard, and that's a pickup of 10 and into their territory.
So now in plus territory at the 38-yard line of the Predators. 1st and 10. The Storm have the football again, 4 receivers, and it looks like Myers will stay as a single setback in a pistolero situation here. Lehigh looks over the Predator defense. Remember the Storm's up 28-3 as we begin the second half. Lehigh taking some time off. Oh, low ground ball, but goes right to Myers, I think. And he is brought down for a 10-yard loss down to the 48-yard line. So the first bad snap after what we saw last week ends up biting the Storm this time for a big loss.
Yeah, and last week I think it was out of the first 7 plays, there were 4 bad snaps and none in the first half of this game. So the coaching staff definitely has to think that was just a one and done play, being they worked on it all week.
All right, 2nd and 21, we'll say. The Storm back at the Predator 49. Back in a traditional shotgun. 4 receivers, 2 on each side. They're not giving me any chance to recap the first half the way we're going. So Lehigh will take some time off the clock. We're about 4.5 minutes into this third quarter. Lehigh waiting, taking a snap, and he drops it, and then he falls down. Down he goes. It's going to be a sack again. And Lehigh sacked for the first time today, and the person who did it I got a feeling that we've called him a number of times, Mike Huertas.
And
He's the one I got to say. He's played a pretty good game, but I don't know what bowing down 25 points is going to do.
yeah, he had 2 sacks actually in last week's game also. But this missed snap opportunity from the quarterback to center exchange is really hurting the Storm, and they're moving backwards here.
All right, third and unfortunately about 28. Ball spot their own 43-yard line this time as LeHue will be in the shotgun, moves Myers in motion to the right, overload right. Back goes LeHue. He's being chased, and now he throws a screen to Myers. He'll have it up the middle to midfield. He's still going, and then he tries to stutter and gets pulled down by a face mask at the 45-yard line of Predators, and that might be a free first down because that looked like either a face mask or a horse collar.
If the Predators guy the defender didn't make that face mask tackle there, I think he was going to pick up the first down anyway. That was a great inside screenplay by the Storm to pick up the first down.
It is indeed a major face mask against the Predators, so move the chains, and that'll be a first down again. The Predators, yeah, I mean, 3rd and 28, and you do something like that, that kind of describes your night.
You would think that with all the mental mistakes in the first half from the offense, defense, and even the coaching staff, that they would come out and on the 3rd and 28 not commit a costly penalty like they did, but they did.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's just been a nightmare for the Predators today, down 28-3, and now the Storm have a new set of downs, 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. I don't know if the chains are correct, but in any case, LeHue will hand it up to Myers. He'll bounce around the right side to the 30, has all to the 20, down to the 15, into the 13, gain of 17 yards. Now you can move the chains because they can get that right, so a first down after a gain of 17.
Yeah, I think that actually wasn't a first down, but it was a 15 yards from where the face mask occurred before, but you could have drove a truck through that hole that the right guard and right tackle formed there, and Myers took it and picked up a big gain.
So even though it doesn't matter now, that might be one of those league rules we may not know about, that major face mask, if it still doesn't give you a first down, that's where they still do the 3rd down, which I don't understand, because I know in the NFL it means an automatic first down, and technically this league is run by NFL rules.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not really 100% sure, but that's the only thing that would make sense, unless the chain gang messed up there.
Well, whatever the case, all is forgiven. And LeHue has just called a timeout, so the Storm's first timeout of the second half. We'll remind you, of course, the sponsors for our Lehigh Valley Storm broadcast here on Storm Radio and Hot101.net. Of course, the sponsors are Kula Children's Center, located 833 North 13th Street in Allentown. They are meeting your child care needs. The Scott family of dealerships, the Scott Lot, Scott Chevrolet, Scott Cadillac, Scott Mazda, and Scott Volvo. All lots are located on Lehigh Street in Allentown. It's also brought to you by Shruti Pub and Restaurant at 1853 Northampton Street in Easton, Pennsylvania. Call 610-829-1211 for more information. And, of course, our main sponsor being Pepsi. Lehigh Valley Storm football is presented by Pepsi. See what's new and on the verge by going to Pepsi.com and feeling the real big summer of the Pepsi Pulse. So the Storm now 1st and 10. They're in the red zone now at the Predator 13-yard line, leading 28-3 and looking for more. LeHue in the shotgun. Again, they spread the 4 receivers evenly on each side. LeHue, a little bit of a pistolero with Myers right behind him. And Ridley with the ball. He'll get to about the 10-yard line along the far side of the field after what looked to be a sweep right. So a gain of 3 on the play. So 2nd and looks like 7 coming up. Although the inside official might be saying around the 9-yard line. So we're going to say a gain of 3 just for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, just a little dive to the right, picking up a couple of yards. I'm expecting a little slant here and see what the Storm can do.
Maybe another Jaleel Clark play. We'll see. 2nd and 7 from about the 10. Low snap. Handoff Ridley. Ridley gets about the 7-yard line, but that's about it. Gain of 3 for Ridley. But the Storm have a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Yeah, complete different game than last week. They're running the ball and they're sticking with it, and there's actually an injured offensive lineman running off the field now. So.
And that would happen to be Adonis Cannon, who's out of Moravian University. He's being replaced now by Mike Robinson for this 3rd and 4. Look like he may have had a little bit of a cramp, so he's just running it off. So 3rd and we're going to say about 4. I don't know where the down marker went, unless somebody decided to just stick it someplace else. But anyway, third and we'll say about 6. The ball will be spotted about the 8-yard line. Lehigh with a snap. He will delay the handoff. Ridley bounces over the tackle. Gets to the 5. He's going to dive on into the pool. Welcome to the end zone. Where'd I come up with a Kendrick Lamar line like that? Raheem Ridley comes through. He broke through one tackle, bounced off another, and took the swan dive into the open green for a 7-yard touchdown run. The Storm extend their lead on the second touchdown run by the Storm. The first by Myers. Now Raheem Ridley can put his name on the board.
Yeah, and you know he wanted to score, obviously, against the Predators in this game, but the defensive tackle shot through the gap and had Ridley wrapped up in the backfield, but his momentum took him forward and dove over for a touchdown.
And now we have another flag down before setting up for the extra point. And it's possible there could be too many men to huddle on the Predators, but I don't know. We've been having a lot of penalties, and they're going to call unsportsmanlike against the Predators. And now a second flag. And I'll tell you what, the Predators are absolutely frustrated with what's happening here. So they've just been hit with not one but 2 unsportsmanlikes. I mean, and I'm not sure who the guilty party was, but he's already walking off the field, and needless to say, unbelievably frustrated. And once again, Commissioner Dexter Gervin, he's here, of course, in the neon green. And I'll tell you what, this is not a happy camper right now, and the Predators certainly are not happy campers. I mean, getting here was a little bit of an adventure. Somebody told me they arrived a little late because they had a vehicle issue, supposedly a flat, but they were able to get there in one piece, more importantly. Here's the extra point. Snap kick on its way. Down the middle and good. 35-3 to Lehigh Valley Storm with a almost insurmountable lead, but tell that to the Houston Oilers from 20 or so years ago. So the Storm lead by 32, and they're looking very good right now, looking for their second win of the year.
And not to take anything away from the Storm, who are playing tremendous tonight, but the story of this game for the New York Predators have to be mental mistakes. Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one after another, after another, after another. And they continued into the second half. I mean, sometimes you just gotta get the hang of things and get yourself together, because football's not just a physical game. It's a mental game, it's a character building game, and everyone's got to work together as a team. And every team experiences downs, and I don't think the Predators are very used to that. And I think the Storm, being a little bit more in the experience front, knowing about the winning and losing fronts. I mean, there are lots of great semi-pro teams. Look at the Oklahoma Thunder, look at the Central Penn Piranha. They've been on the losing side sometimes, but this is a little bit extreme considering you win 61-18 last week, and then all of a sudden you're down 35-3 on the wrong end of the scoreboard this week. And because of the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, the Storm are going to kick off from midfield, and I don't even want to know where Eppelman's going to kick this.
This one might go right through the field goal post.
Or be caught on radar by somebody at Lehigh Valley International. I don't know. But we'll see. They might pooch it for all intents and purposes. But here comes Eppelman kicking it off. It goes high, end over end, and the kick is good, except the fact that it's a kickoff and a touchback.
And that one is good. Not like the first 2 field goals, but Eppelman's definitely going to forget about those 2, being such a big weapon for this Lehigh Valley Storm football team.
He may have missed a couple of field goals, but I guess he took his frustration out on the ball on that one. So following the touchback, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Predators, who need to get back to work with 7:26 left in the third quarter, down 35-3. Boy, the only thing that's gone right has been their kicker. And remember, that field goal was from 52 yards out in the first quarter. So that's been really the only highlight today. Other than that, the Predators have turned the ball over 3 times. They committed a whole bunch of mistakes, especially in the second quarter. And this is why the Lehigh Valley Storm have brought a storm surge into the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely they need to put everything behind them and see if they can come out and have a strong second half starting now.
We'll see if they try in something respectable, as Nunez is under center for 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line in the shotgun. 4 receivers. Back he goes. Short drop and pass on the far side. Getting to about the 25 and bouncing out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. I'm not sure who the receiver was along the far end of the field, but it's going to be good for about a gain of 7. That'll be 2nd and 3.
case you knew that.
And I'm not sure. I thought something happened along the far side because somebody was waving somebody over, but it must have been for a defender.
Yeah, it looked like a little confrontation, but the Predators are stealing the Storm style here and going run and gun, being they're down.
Well, you're 4 touchdowns, 4 2-point conversions. What are you going to do? And it'll be Nunez keeping himself crossing the 30, 35, and getting all the way to about the 43-yard line. Nice run by Nunez that time, picking up 16, and this time the Predators moved the chains for a first down.
Yeah, and that's like the 55-yard run that they had before when in the first half when Nunez took it, and the linebackers were a little bit asleep there, but that was a nice game.
So now Predators will re-huddle down 35-3, 5:50 left in the third quarter. It's been all Lehigh Valley Storm pretty much since the second quarter of this game. We'll try and get maybe a little bit of a recap when we can. Hasn't been too many opportunities because we've just been running on adrenaline the whole time. I'm like, we're in the announcing booth and we're running on adrenaline like the football players. First and 10 for the 43-yard line. Nunez in the shotgun once again, showing blitz to the Storm. Here's a pass that is caught. Kareem Moon makes a move, 45 midfield, escapes a tackle, still running into Storm territory and down at about the 42-yard line before being brought down by Mike Kuzer. 15-yard pickup, and he can move the chains again.
Yeah, and Lehigh Valley Storm right now they're playing good, but the Predators are definitely putting on the attack, and quarterback got hit there, but stood in the pocket strong.
And now the Predators want to try and get something respectable. First and 10, broken play again, and it's Nunez crossing the 40 and then being brought down at about the 39-yard line. Orrin Marshman, we haven't called his name today. He's able to make the stop after a gain of 4.
Yeah, and that's Marshman, the big leader in the middle, who actually sticks everything together with a nice little play there. And, second and, what is that, 6, 7?
Looks about 7 at this point from the Storm 39. Just to quickly recap, the Storm took a 7-0 lead on their opening drive as Jimmy LaHue found Devon Gordon in the end zone for a score. And then, of course, the Predators had their lone 3 points on a 52-yard field goal on the ensuing drive. That made it 7-3, and that was a quarter-time score. Now it's 2nd and 7 for the 39. Back goes Nunez. He's being chased. Dumps it off in the middle screen. The pass is caught by King, who's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. He may have even lost a yard on the play. So King maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 3rd and 7 coming up.
Yeah, and that middle screen is always something that offenses run against the defense that's very dangerous and let the pressure come through. But the middle of the Storm defense has been reading it all day and making great play.
And, of course, what broke the game open in the second quarter was Sean Meyer's 32-yard touchdown run made 14-3 on the ensuing kickoff. Not the ensuing kickoff, but then the Predators had to punt again. Stephen Lewis took it back to the house, 55 yards on the punt return. They made it 21-3. And then after a turnover, one play afterwards, LaHue found a sweep to Michael Thomas and ended up being an 86-yard touchdown. So... on the 3rd and 7, Storm's offside. Here's Nunez going to throw one up the middle, and the pass incomplete, intended for Kareem Moon up the middle, but definitely offside against Lehigh Valley Storm, which will make it 3rd and 2.
Yeah, quarterback Nunez just threw that ball away knowing that he had a free play, so... Back to Lehigh Valley Storm in the first half. We're getting a little jumpy at the defensive line, so
we're getting jumpy too. But like I said, that I think it was an 84-yard touchdown sweep run to Michael Thomas, which if you look at the Hughes stats tomorrow, you'll see he may have had a heck of a game, but that one play for 84 yards, he just only threw it for 5, and he gets like 79 after the catch.
You have padding his stats and his receivers and running backs helping him out.
Well, that's what happens when you wear a football pad. You pad too much of it, and you won't be able to move. And then, of course, the touchdown run by Raheem Ridley from 7 yards out on 3rd and goal to open the second half. That's been the scoring, folks. 35-3 in favor of the Lehigh Valley Storm. We're under 3 minutes left in the third quarter. 3rd and about 2. And now taking it himself is Nunez, and he maybe gets a yard. He's not going to get a first down. In fact, I'm not sure if he got anything. But Nunez, I think, took a pretty hard hit by the middle of the Storm defensive line, and they're going to spot right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was about 3rd and 2, and after a yard, Nunez did like that quick quarterback draw, and Joe Davis met him after a yard and held him up, so it's going to be 4th and a short 1 here.
So nothing doing there for a Nunez. It is now 4th and about 2, and obviously down 32, you have to go for it. Nunez, of course, a quarterback from my old stomping grounds, class of 1995, and I will forever say Trenton State College because there is nothing wrong with Trenton. But of course, I had to call it the College of New Jersey now. But that's where Casey Nunez is from. So anyway, fourth and about a yard and a half from the 32, and both lines jump. So rain to yellow again, and it's a false start against the Predators. Talk about another mental mistake. There you go again.
Yeah, exactly. And 4th and 1, and trying to get back into this ball game. 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and that's not a mistake that the coaching staff and the Predators are looking for.
And the ball now goes back to the 39-yard line. So as the clock continues to run with under 2 minutes left in the third quarter, the Storm, of course, with a 35-3 lead. It'll be 4th and 7 from the 39-yard line. And we'll see what the Predators design here. Will they have another broken play of about 20 yards? I mean, who knows? I mean, that's really, that and the kicker have been the only thing that have worked today for them.
Yeah, exactly. 52-yard field goal, and I don't know, they might have to pull something special out here in the 4th and 7.
Well, they're going to need more than that to have to duplicate it like 4 other times. So they're going to line up empty backfield, shotgun for Nunez, 4 receivers on the right, and he drops the snap. He's got the throw to his right, caught by Moon, has a block, 35, and I don't think he's going any further, but a flag is down toward the end of the play.
And now,
so Moon is stopped, but we have a flag down at the midfield stripe and a blow to the we're gonna have a blow to the head against the Storm.
Yeah,
Evan, that's not a smart play by the Storm, and Marcus Slocum is the one, and he has been tossed from the game, I believe. I mean, you're up 35-3. That is not smart at all. So
no, that was actually after the play, and he got into it a little bit in the backfield. And you just have to be smart there. Knowing it's a 4th down, the wide receiver didn't pick up the first down. You can't make that mistake.
And it's 15 yards to the end of the play, so a free first down for the New York Predators on a 4th and 7. And unfortunately for Marcus Slocum, an ejection because of the blow to the head. And obviously these officials are very strict on sportsmanship, and they cannot tolerate things like that regardless of who's winning and who's losing. It's just not... It's not the right football, and I know a lot of emotion gets carried, but I don't think we want a duplication as to what happened last Saturday.
No, that's something that you never want to see, especially on a football field.
All right, we're in the final minute of the third quarter. 1st and 10 now for the Predators at the 22 of the Storm. Nunez in the shotgun takes the snap. He's under arrest, throws to the right, passes caught along the near side, and a nice spin move and going out of bounds is that 83 character at about the 14-yard line, pushed out by Mike Kuzar.
Yeah, and a couple penalties and a couple nice plays, a couple good runs and passing, and looks like the Predators are putting together the first drive really all game today.
Clearly the deepest penetration that the Predators have had all game long. Now, of course, they had to throw a 20-yard pass that ended up being intercepted in the red zone by the Storm. Let's see if the Predators can get one more play off. We're in the final seconds of the third quarter. Nunez needs to look at the clock. Single setback to the left, and 4 receivers. Will they get it off? Just barely. And it'll be him taking himself, Nunez, and I don't think getting much. They'll get back to the line of scrimmage at the 14, and that is where we have hit three-quarter time here at Salisbury High School. So, the Storm had their lead on the opening drive of the third quarter, and that's all there's been. Three-quarter time here in Allentown. The Lehigh Valley Storm 35, the New York Predators 3. Another impressive performance as we get ready to start the final quarter of play. And JJ obviously needs to tell us something about how he's going to discuss this game on Monday night.
On Monday night, back to Schroeder's Pub and Restaurant, and bar manager Amy talked about it, how they have a bunch of specials going on, and how they have their outside patio where you can now eat, and parking was always an issue at Schroeder's Pub and Restaurant, but they just built a brand new parking lot right down the street, so no longer is there a problem with that. And that's Schroeder's Pub and Restaurant, which I will be doing a live game remote post-game show from this game with coach interviews and players and staff members, and that's located 1853 North Hampton Street in Easton, Pennsylvania.
And I'm trying to update my status
For more information, if you want to call Schroeder's Pub and Restaurant, you can call 610-829-1211, and they also have a Facebook under Schroeder's Pub and Restaurant for more information on that.
Doesn't everybody have a Facebook?
Nowadays, everyone has a Facebook and a
Most have a Twitter, some people have a Snapchat, some have an Instagram, and some just don't have too much to do with their lives, evidently. But in any case, 35-3, the score for the Lehigh Valley Storm as we're about to start the final quarter of play. It has been very dominant for the Storm since the early portion of the second quarter. The Predators now moving right to left. They're in the red zone. They have a 3rd and 2 right now at the Storm 14-yard line. Trying to get something going as Nunez is in the shotgun. King to his left, 3 receivers to the right. Back goes Nunez in the pocket, has some time. Will throw it a pass. Oh, a near diving catch in the back of the end zone, but incomplete. Intended for, looks like Simahi Reese in the back, but he just couldn't come up with it. And I would have to say the Predators go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to go for it, especially with a score like this in the fourth quarter. But that was a little bit overthrown, but that was a great route. Tajmir Flood had great coverage, and the wide receiver made a move on the inside and just out of the reach of his hands for a Predator touchdown.
And we'll say again, Tajmir Flood, he's had 4 interceptions already through not even 2 games yet. He had 2 last week. He's got 2 more this week. I can guarantee you, for the next opponent for the Storm, they're going to be playing to throw away from him because he always seems to find the ball. So 4th and 2 from the 14-yard line. Whoops, hold everything. Raining yellow again because somebody jumped. But the question is who, and it looks like it's going to be against the Predators for a false start.
Yeah, and the bus ride home, you know that a lot of these players are going to be thinking about all the mistakes that they made today, but there's still 15 minutes left in this game, and you know that they want to walk out with their heads held high.
And just so you know, the next Storm game will be next Saturday here at Salisbury High School, August the 2nd, a 7 o'clock kickoff on Camelot Youth Football Night against the Northwest Giants of Philadelphia. They happen to be a former champion from their League 2 from a couple years ago. For more information on the game, for tickets and stuff like that, make sure you go to lvstormfootball.com for more information. Of course, you can't make the game. Go to the website and listen to us. Now on 4th down, here's a long throw to right side, batted away, incomplete. They tried to fade right, and it was punched away by Rodney Gilmore, and the Predators have turned it over on downs, but there's a flag down, and it's going to be roughing the passer, so Kerncraft 440 back into your box. The Predators will have 1st and goal.
And that's a mental mistake there by the Lehigh Valley Storm defense on 4th down, and that's the second one in the past 10 minutes of play there. But number 14, Rodney Gilmore, made a great play. He was beat and punched it away, recovering on the play.
That was a nice play. Unfortunately, it doesn't count because of the roughing the passer. But in any case, you can go to lvstormfootball.com, and there are plenty of good photos dealing with the Camelot Youth Football group that they were associated with throughout the week. So again, lvstormfootball.com for all that. Ticket info, of course, for Storm Radio. You can find the link there to listen to us if you can't make it to the game next Saturday. All right, 1st and goal. Ball spotted at just inside the 10-yard line. They have Moon in motion to the right. A bad snap. It gets behind Nunez, and it's going to be picked up by, I think, the Storm, and it's got to be brought back to midfield, the 40. And no, actually, I'm looking at the guy ahead. I thought he was carrying the ball. Looked like Joe Davis, but instead, the man who recovered it, guess who? The man who had a fumble return for a touchdown last time, Mike Kuzar. He was able to get a bounce, and he ends up returning it about 35 yards. Boy, he loves to return fumbles back a long way. He's done it twice in 2 weeks.
Exactly. Tajmir Flood has 2 picks a game, and it looks like Kuzar has another one, another fumble recovery today. And he was definitely thinking end zone there. It was a high snap, a quarterback center exchange mishap, and he had the blockers. But one New York Predators defenseman made a nice play at about midfield.
And that's, I believe, the 4th turnover of the game for the New York Predators, who have had an absolute nightmare today as the Lehigh Valley Storm have dominated this game. We're in the first minute of the final quarter. It is 35-3 in favor of the Lehigh Valley Storm. So after a 2-minute delay, they got Zombie Nation and Kerncraft 440 up. So can't believe that song's like 10 years old. I'm like, whoa. But that's my style of music, and I knew that was going to be a sports anthem the first time I ever heard it. But anyway, LeHugh's still in the game, and I'm curious as to why. First and 10 from the 48-yard line of the Predators. They have Ackerman Moore in motion to the left, and they're going to hand it up the middle to, I believe, Ridley, who gets a couple of yards to the 45. So a gain of 3 for Ridley up the middle, and I'm sure the Storm will be absolutely content to just take a lot of time off.
Yeah, exactly. Being up a score like this in the fourth quarter, you just want to make sure that everyone stays injury-free and move the clock by running the ball.
That's true, but it makes you wonder why Jimmy LeHue's in the game, because you never know how crazier things have happened in this sport. So you got to be careful with it. In the Pistolero, second and we'll say 7 from the 45. They hand it to Sean Myers, who has a hole, cuts back to the right, missed tackle. Now try and move forward. He crosses the line of scrimmage, and his knee goes down about the 43-yard line. It looked like he was able to continue, but his knee scraped the turf, which means he's down. But it is a gain of, we'll say, about 2 and a 3rd and 5 after a Mayers short gain.
Yeah, and Mayers really didn't have too many touches in today's game, but he had that great run, that touchdown run. It seems like every time he's getting the ball, he's running harder and harder than he has before and picking up positive yardage.
And I think now him playing a little bit of a role position, that's taken a bit off of, especially Raheem Ridley coming through as a veteran, taking some of the carries. I think it's also keeping Myers fresh, and we may see that come October when the Storm have their road finish. 3rd and 5 from the 43-yard line. LeHue in the shotgun takes the snap. He's going to throw one, and that pass incomplete. The timing just wasn't quite there that time. It was looked like it was intended for Keenan Walls. So he was playing tight end that time for the Storm, and he ends up forcing the Storm to go 3 and out. So I guess they're trying to line up other people in offensive position, see if they can get some yardage.
Yeah, exactly, and just trying different things for future games. But Bobby Eppelman is on for the first punt of this game, which obviously just shows that the Storm have been playing great all game long.
Yeah, pretty much. And Eppelman, who of course missed 2 field goals in the first half, I mean, he's been very instrumental with his leg, especially with his kickoffs and stuff, and he's been downing people for the most part in field position throughout this game, especially a couple of times in the first half. Eppelman takes a snap on 4th down and booms it away along the far sideline. It's going to take a Storm bounce inside of 10, down by Kuzar at the 5. So a nice play by the Storm special teams. Kuzar downs it. It'll be a 39-yard punt. And the more things change, the more things stay the same for the Predators, starting very deep in their own territory. And I think they're going to down it at the 7, we'll say. It'll probably be a 36-yard punt.
And you know Bobby Eppelman wanted that and needed that, especially after his 2 missed field goals today. So that's something that makes him happy for sure.
Real quick, we'll remind you while the Predators set up that the major sponsors for Lehigh Valley Storm football, of course, Kula Children's Center, the Scott Family Dealerships, Shruti Pub and Restaurant, and of course Pepsi, which of course presents Lehigh Valley Storm football. See what's now and on the verge by going to Pepsi.com and feeling the real big summer of the Pepsi Pulse. So let's see what the Predators decide to do. 11:44 left till time, and the Storm basically have this one in hand. 35-3 the score, and they're running the clock right as the ball is set into play. It looks like Nunez is going to stay in the game, see if he can get something going, but the ball will be spotted at their own 7-yard line. Kuzar the snap. He throws as he's about to go down, and it's incomplete. They had 3 Storm players surrounding him, and it looks like 2 of them happened. Let me see. 89, who's listed as Eppelman, who it obviously is not, but Joe Peters, who we haven't called today, was in on the rush.
No, yeah, I mean they just got right back there to the quarterback, and he had absolutely no time to make a throw.
So 2nd and we're gonna say 10. Well, it was incomplete, so it has to be 2nd and 10. Ball be spotted at the 7-yard line, and Nunez will try and line things up. So really, we haven't been learning too much in regards to what the formations have been. It's been 4 receivers pretty much. 2 on this side, 3 on this side. Now back goes Nunez. He's going to throw a Hail Mary down the left sideline and way over the head and incomplete. That ball looked to be intended for Mauricio Valmon, who's out of Nassau Community College. I mean, they were trying to get a big play there and try and make it 93 yards, almost a la old McNabb to a Deshaun Jackson in the from a few years ago, but that didn't quite work.
No, they went for a real long bomb there, and he actually was open, but it was about 10 to 15 yards thrown over his head.
So it'll be 3rd and 10, and the Predators, who just have had a disastrous night here, down 35-3. Remember, their only points came in the first quarter as a kicker hit a 52-yard field goal, and he had a few more yards to spare on that. So if there's an NFL scout looking for him, I think the Predators may just let him have a few extra $100,000 and have him kick for a kicker who might need it. Hey,
Yeah,
Cowboys
exactly.
might need one. They need everything anyway.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
3rd and 10 from the 7. Back goes Nunes in the shotgun. Throw the middle. Oh, incomplete. That was intended, and it looked like 83 was the intended receiver. But what a play by Orrin Marshman to stretch out his paw and bring the ball down and bat it away and force 4th down deep in their own territory.
And that was a tremendous play. He actually almost picked that off by with a diving attempt, and he was a little bit quiet in the first half, but the leader of the Storm defense is having a pretty good second half here.
And we haven't called his name very much, but I'll tell you what. Once again, when you have people like Tajmir Flood, who's been doing his job in the secondary, you have people like Carl Kryler, who's had a very nice game. Joe Peters again, a nice game. It's 4th down, and punting will be Nunez. And he will launch one along the far sideline. Different return, I'd assume. No, it is going to be Lewis. Lewis is going to take it about the 48, goes midfield, sweep around to the right, to the 40, to the 30. He's got blockers, to the 20, breaks through a tackle on the 15, and then loses the football. And it's got to be recovered by the Predators at about the 14-yard line. Lewis tried to do too much and ended up losing the football, so forget the punt ever happened. Just assumed it was a defensive holding play. Just imagine that. Move it 5 yards and give the Predators a new set of downs. It was a nice return by Stephen Lewis of about 40 yards, but there's also a flag down around the midfield stripe. I'm assuming that's on the Storm, too, for an illegal block.
Yeah, Marshman actually got injured on that play, and there was a flag, and a great return. That's very awkward.
And you know what? This is why when you have your leaders on, you're up 35-3. If you're up 35-3, and all of a sudden your leaders are starting to get hurt, that's not necessarily the best sign for everybody because you pretty much have the game in hand. They have the illegal block was on the Storm, so it was refused because of the fumble. So the Predators get the ball back, and they'll spot the ball at the 14-yard line. It would have been a 38-yard return anyway, but Lewis just tried to do too much, and a good job by the Predators special teams ripping it out of his hands. Unfortunately, 10 minutes till time, and down 32 points. It doesn't mean very much. Here's a handoff to King up the middle on 1st down and trying to get the middle for maybe a yard or two. Not going to be very much, if anything. We'll see where they spot it. But marginal gain for King on 1st down.
Yeah, that's Luther Wilson, the defensive end, who made 2 great plays last week. Had a forced fumble and 2 sacks, and Joe Peters right up in the middle to hold him for no gain.
Yeah, actually it's a 1-yard loss. So 2nd and 11 coming from the 13-yard line. And again, Nunez in the shotgun. Sometimes you do the same formation, do a bunch of the different versions, and it works, but other times it doesn't. Back goes Nunez, looking, rolls right, throws to the right, and over the head of the intended receiver, which is Mauricio Valman, incomplete. So it'll be 3rd and 11. Just so you know, and I just want to remind everybody this, next Saturday, Crazy and JJ will be here to give you Lehigh Valley Storm football. The football game against the Northwest Giants of Philadelphia. They will be coming to Lehigh Valley for a 7 o'clock kickoff next Saturday, August the 2nd. It'll be Camelot Youth Football Night. So, obviously, there are plenty of pictures of them on lvstormfootball.com. You can most certainly check them out because I know they were with them at some point during this week. So, definitely check them out, lvstormfootball.com for ticket information stuff. If you can't make it to the game, just click the Storm radio link, and we'll be doing the game again. So 3rd and 11 now from the 13-yard line. Nunez in the shotgun, takes a snap. He's looking, he's in trouble, and down he goes about the 6-yard line. And it looks like Mike Kuzer again. Kuzer I'll tell you what, he's had a nice second half. Makes things a whole lot easier. when you're up 35-3. So another sack by the Storm defense. Not too much. I mean, they've had like, what, 2 or 3 sacks in the game. Rick Schmidt has all the statistics, and we'll figure it all out before we're all done.
Yeah, exactly. And Kuzar had that fumble pickup and almost returned it back for a touchdown. Had a sack here, almost for a safety, and had that touchdown in last week's end of the first half. So he's definitely a big playmaker for the Storm, and a big play there.
And now it'll be third, and they're going to say 4th down, so standing in the back of the end zone is their punter, and he kicks along the far side of the field. Lewis will catch it at 41, break a tackle immediately, and he's going to run to the 35 as a whole. Slips out another tackle and gets squashed about the 29-yard line. And the tackle made by what looks to be Tommy Griffin, who's had a pretty nice game on the special teams.
Yeah, Tommy Griffin actually is all over the field, but Stephen Lewis there was definitely thinking end zone, up 35-3 with 8 minutes, and having a touchdown in the first half and a great return before. You know that you wanted another one to add to the stats.
Well, of course, but sometimes you gotta wonder when is enough. But. With 8:12 left in this one, 35-3, Storm lead the New York Predators. The Predators, of course, 61 points last week. Here they're stuck with 3. And I tell you what, this was one of those games where the Storm needed to make a statement. They not only made a statement, they made a Mother Nature-like statement.
Absolutely. And I think you said 21 points, was it, in the second quarter? And I mean, they really came out. Besides that field goal that we keep mentioning, there's not too many mistakes for the Storm that they made today, and they've played a great game overall.
And there is a new quarterback in for the Storm I think it looks like 18. No, LeHugh's still in the game. It looked like 18 was in, but that's a linebacker number. 1st and 10 from the 29 of the Predators, and they're going to hand it up to Myers. Myers tries to escape, and he is going to be thrown down. We'll see. It's going to be spotted at the 30-yard line for progress. So Myers went up the middle and ends up losing a yard, so it'll be 2nd and 11.
Yeah, and Myers losing yards. That's not something that we really heard today. He's had a great game on the ground, but this Lehigh Valley Storm are trying to finish off with a run game attack that they really didn't do too much this week, but excelled at in today's game.
And come to think of it, like I said, the balance is one of the biggest keys here for the Lehigh Valley Storm. It is 2nd and 11 from the 30-yard line. Pistolero for like maybe the 3rd or 4th time in this game now. 4 receivers, so 3 to the right, and Myers a single setback behind Jimmy LeHue, who's in between center and running back. Let's see if the Predators show blitz here, but most things they tried haven't really worked today for them. LeHue letting the clock run down to about 6.5 minutes left until he gets a snap, which is now. And now he pitches that to Myers, who now cuts back, reverses direction. Let's see what he does. Crossing the 35-30, crash lands to about the 27-yard line before finally getting tackled. It looks like Tariq Shah made the stop for the Predators that time. Pickup of 3 on the play.
Yeah, and that was just one of those misconceptions, running around with the ball and trying to make a lot out of not too much that he had. So you can't blame the effort there on Myers.
And it'll be 3rd and we'll say 7, actually 8 from about the 27-yard line rather. And the Storm looking to line themselves up as the big guy, Steve Lombardo, the owner of the Storm, just came into the press box, but visiting the folks in the other room for the time being. 3rd and we'll say 8 from 27 in the shotgun LeHue. They're going with 4 receivers, but don't be surprised if it's another run. You're up 35-3, 5.5 minutes left. What's the purpose of throwing the football? Low snap, but LeHue is going to throw. He's going to throw a fade to a wide open man. Welcome to the end zone. Keenan Walls. Break the walls down. I'm sure Chris Jericho will be proud of you there. A 27-yard touchdown pass, the 3rd of the day for quarterback Jimmy LeHue, and the Storm have crossed the 40 mark.
And Keenan Walls was wide open there, and he's listed as a defensive lineman. He's wearing 44, so he can play offense and defense. It goes both ways, and add another touchdown for Jimmy LeHue. He was wide open. That was a great pass, and a great touchdown for the Storm.
Well, you threw me off there, but I'll tell you what, you can put him in as a tight end, you can put him in as a fullback, whatever the case, you put him in. He was so wide open. I mean, 309 was cleared out down the road. He was able to catch that. So Eppelman will try the extra point. Waiting for the snap to come along. Here it is. High snap. Kick on its way. And down the middle it is. It is good. So 5:06 left till time, and the Lehigh Valley Storm cracked the 40 mark, leading 42-3 over a pretty shell-shocked New York Predator team.
And our stock guy Rick last week picked 34-6, and today 20-3. That just goes to show how nobody really saw 42-3 coming, and even us. I could say that I'm shocked at myself, and the Storm played a great game overall at all three levels: offense, defense, and special teams.
I will have to tell you this. Sometimes you get caught by surprise because they say it's any given Sunday, but here it's pretty much any given Saturday night in this case. Now, next week for the Predators, they will be at home against the Bloomfield, New Jersey Longhorns. I'll tell you what. Remember, the Longhorns haven't played yet this year. It's funny because next week will be a full slate of football games for Major League Football. And, of course, the Predators will be back at home. And I'll tell you what, considering after what happened today, they wouldn't want to be anywhere else but home. I'll tell you what, this is going to be an angry Predators team when the Longhorns see them next week.
Exactly, and this is a 3-0 team, and those first three wins definitely you could say that they came easy. And today they went down early and really, never really fought back. So the Storm hit them hard and early, and forced a lot of mental mistakes on the part of the Predators.
And the second quarter was really the difference. Actually, I think the first two games were preseason ones. So whatever the case may be, they won the first two, and then of course they won the season opener here for Major League Football last week. But obviously the results are a whole lot different tonight. Here's the long kickoff going way back to midway through the end zone, and it looks like it will be number 3. Moon will take it at the 30. He's still got room all the way down to the 40-yard line along the far side of the field. So a nice return by Kareem Moon, catches it 5 yards deep in the end zone and takes it to the 39, so a 44-yard return, and we'll see if the Predators can try and get into the end zone before this night is over.
Yeah, the Predators, that was a great kickoff return, setting up a wall on the upper right side for the kick return to get there, and he almost took it to the house, but you know that with 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining, they want to try and get in the end zone and keep their heads held high for sure.
By the way, the other score that happened in Major League Football today, I think the Tri-State Bulldogs were off this week from a bye. I don't know if they had a game that just got called a couple weeks ago, but whatever the case may be, the only other game on the schedule was the New Jersey Spartans at home against the Northeast Eagles, and usually in a Spartans game there's a safety. Well, it happened again, and the Eagles scored the safety. The problem is it wasn't enough. The New Jersey Spartans won by a score of 12-2 over the Northeast Eagles, so the Spartans go 2-0 in the season. All right, on first down, here's a pass on the far side that is caught, and running with the football down to about the 47-yard line. Not sure who made that catch, but it's still a pretty nice gain of 8 on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 2.
Yeah, the Predators go back to what pretty much one of the little things that they've succeeded at all day, and it's that jet sweep and pick up a gain of 8, and they're definitely trying to move the ball and put together a nice little drive here.
Most certainly. Now, next week, as I said, the Predators take on the New Jersey Longhorns. As I said, the Lehigh Valley Storm will be home against the Northwest Philly Giants. By the way, the Northeast Eagles will be at home against the Delaware Legacy after a couple of road games to start the year. Here's a handoff to King, who slams on the brakes and then falls forward, probably to about the 48-yard line. That might be enough for a first down. We'll see. It is indeed a first down, so it's 2nd and 2, and King got the 2 necessary to move the chains.
Yeah, and King hasn't had a bad game himself on the ground, and he's had a couple of those jet sweeps and dives up the middle, but never really could get it going against the Storm defense. Is playing really well all around.
By the way, the other game's going on next Saturday. The New Jersey Spartans are home to the Westchester Warriors. The Brooklyn Mariners are home to the Somerset Bears, and the Tri-State Bulldogs are on the road against the Westchester Steelers. And I think I missed 1 or 2 along the way. Here's a handoff to that 27 guy. Has a big haul crossing the 40 into Storm territory and down to about the 33-yard line before being brought down by Ray Pizarro. And once again, it's Cam King. And I think an official timeout was called. I think Ellis also made the stop there. So there's an official timeout with 2:32 left till time, and the Storm had 42-3. The other games of note, the two-time defending Major League Football champion Plainfield, New Jersey Wolves will have an afternoon game against the Jersey Black Devils, a new team to Major League Football. Two other teams, the New Haven Venom take on the New Jersey Bravehearts. That's another one. As I mentioned, the other ones, the Somerset Bears and the Brooklyn Mariners have a battle. The Westchester Warriors and New Jersey Spartans. The Delaware Legacy and the Northeast Eagles. Of course, our game against Northwest Giants. The Tri-State Bulldogs and Westchester Steelers. And, of course, the Predators at home against the New Jersey Longhorns. Of course, you can check out Major League Football anytime. Their website, you can type in Major League Football on Google or any search engine. It'll come up, BEFF2012.com. Check them out to see the latest action for Dexter Gervin and company for Major League Football. There's still some discussion going on as far as things happening here. We got 2:32 left till time. 42-3 in favor of the Lehigh Valley Storm. We had a great crowd on hand tonight for Military Veterans Appreciation Night and nice ceremonies, of course, before the game started with the color guard that came from Sledington, Pennsylvania, American Legion Post 16. Of course, Martin Fritz and Thomas Beam, they happened to be the ones as part of the color guard. A.J. Cutright was one that played taps, and of course the public address guy, Richard Thomas, otherwise known as Big House. And we have a lateral to Moon along the right sideline. Missed tackle to the 35. He'll get as far as the 34, and that is about it. Actually, no, across the 30 to the 29. So, a 5-yard play. It is a lateral because it was thrown behind the line of scrimmage. So, it'll be a 5-yard pickup as we have reached the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, and Lehigh Valley Storm are putting in the subs here, so we're definitely, obviously, we knew early when the second half started that we were going to pick up the victory, but unlike last week, Lehigh Valley Storm strung together a couple of touchdowns and showed that they can score 42 points in the game, and once again, the defense played tremendous, letting up 6 points last week and only 3 today on a 52-yard field goal.
And I'll say this much, if this keeps up, they'll be a very hard team to beat, and we're going to be seeing a lot of football games here come the end of October, early November here at Salisbury High School. Remember, a lot of the home schedules in the first half of the year. All right, here's King on first down, broken tackle to the 25, 20, and his knee goes down at the 19, and so does an official. Now, somebody should have put that on the semi-pro NFL Films Roundup under the get out of my way referee type deal. But, hey, it happens sometimes. So,
Tackled by number
a
35,
gain of, we're going to say, 11. And it'll be 1st and 10 as the Predators get back into the red zone, and the clock runs down to 1:20 till time. We're going to give you a sponsor lineup of thanks in just a couple of moments as, once again, Nunez is under center. There have not been many calls under center today. On first down, back to pass he goes. He's going to throw a fade to the right, and the pass is incomplete. It was for the far side of the field. Not sure who it was thrown to, but it was Phil Tucker was in the vicinity. It'll be 2nd and 10. Just to give you a rundown as we thank the following sponsors. Growler's Corner, which is a blog for local Allentown and MIS, Pennsylvania. Orthopedic Specialists, led by Robert Palumbo, the Lehigh Valley Storm team doctor. Schrudy's Pub and Restaurant. Kaplan's, who's canvassing the Lehigh Valley in western New Jersey since 1923. Philly Pretzel Factory. Kula Children's Center. The Scott family of dealerships, and of course, Pepsi. I'll mention one more thing on Pepsi after this play. Here we go on 2nd down. Handoff to King along the side. Gets a hold to the 15 to the 10. Still fighting. Loses the football. And he may have fallen on it at about the 10-yard line. They might be a yard short of a 1st down. But it'll make it probably 3rd and about a yard for the New York Predators. And now the officials blow the whistle and timeout is called by the New York Predators, their first and a half. They want to make sure they get at least something before their ride back home to Staten Island tonight.
Yeah, exactly. After scoring 61 points the week before, it's not too easy to travel to Allentown, Pennsylvania, and only put a 3 on the board. So you know that they want to punch this one in here for sure.
And of course, remember that this team has played 2 games just like the Lehigh Valley Storm have. And I'm almost certain both teams will have a couple of byes come September. As a matter of fact, I think there's a stretch from the last Saturday in August to the last Saturday in September where I think they only play twice. So there's like 3 weeks off, and they're playing almost every other week. By the way, check the schedule at ldstormfootball.com for more information. Remember, in 2 weeks' time, we'll be in Albany, New New York against the Albany Maulers. That should be a rather interesting game. So we'll see how everything plays out. And by the way, Lehigh Valley Storm football is presented by Pepsi. See what's now and on the verge by going to Pepsi.com and feeling the real big summer of the Pepsi Pulse. And yes, I had to write that. And I have to write some more of these things, because remember, it's not just announcing, it's also wording and stuff too. You want to make sure you make your sponsors happy, and hopefully we've made Pepsi happy with a lot of stuff today. So, in any case, it'll be right now 3rd and about a yard as the ball is spotted at the, I guess, inside the 10-yard line. And back goes Nunez. He's looking. He's going to throw to the right and a pass. Oh, try to dive. Moon tried in double coverage. Couldn't come up with it. It's incomplete. So it is 4th and a yard. And probably last chance time for the Predators.
Yeah, and that wasn't a bad ball by Nunez. And it hit the wide receiver's hands. But they're going to go for something similar. Very much like that pass now in 4th.
And I just noticed my son, he's waving to me that he just picked up a new Lehigh Valley Storm shirt. So I guess it's running within the family. It doesn't take long. Now he's showing out his dance here. All right, one more shot for the Predators with 41 seconds left in this one. And we'll see what happens as Nunez hands it off to King. King will roll around, get the first down, and get to about the 6-yard line. So he'll move the chains, and now the Predators will use their second timeout with 32 seconds left. So the Predators want to get a touchdown in before they head back home. And I got to say, I feel bad for the Predators in this light. Basically, their bad day started when they had a flat tire on their team bus getting here. So they had to get here a little slower than normal, and that's why we started a little bit later than we normally would. So, I mean, that's the way semi-pro football works, keep in mind. We had one team who was here last year and got here an hour and a half late because of traffic that was out of anyone's control. So that happens. I mean, you want kickoff to be at a certain time, but sometimes you just you just can't control what goes on. I know some teams may not understand it, but hey, what if you were in that position?
Yeah, and like the Predators really never got started today, and they tried, and the defense just played great. That's who I think played the best overall today. The defense.
Well, I totally agree, and also the 3 touchdowns for Jimmy LeHue, they certainly helped in that matter as well. All right, 1st and goal for the Predators at the 6-yard line, we'll say, maybe the 5. Nunez in the shotgun between split backs, takes a snap, he rolls back a couple steps, looking, throws across, and the pass is tipped and incomplete. And getting a paw on it once again, and like I said,
Grady Pizarro.
Yeah, Grady Pizarro, and that wasn't a Pizarro tip, that's for sure.
No, that Lehigh Valley Storm could have a couple more interceptions today. I know that they have 2 by Flood, but also Joe Davis hit his hands, and then Pizarro there. So it could be 4, but they had their 3 turnovers with the fumble and the 2 interceptions.
And like I said, the 2 most important things in a football game, controlling the line of scrimmage and turnovers. And once again, turnovers were the order of this day for the New York Predators here. All right, 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. Evidently, we're being invaded here in the booth in the final 30 seconds of the game. They want me to come back. Goes Nunez looking. He's going to run. Let's see what happens. He's going to throw it over the head of Moon and incomplete. He tried to get his man, but again, pressure by Pizarro again. And I think also they got, let me see, Luther Wilson was also on the coverage that time. So that also was incomplete. So now it'll be 3rd and goal. Down to 18 seconds left in this one. And again, the Storm leading 42-3. Now after the game, I want to mention something, hopefully without tripping, like I did on the wire at the end of the game against Northeast Eagles, because we came back like halfway to something ceremonial that will be taking place after the game. So I'll try and get this right. from last time around. You may have heard it on the raw audio, courtesy of YouTube, which I posted a few days ago. But this will happen after every game. Oh, there's a high snap over Nunez, and he has to fall down at about the 22-yard line. It's going to be a sack that time, and Luther Wilson's the one that delivers it. Now the question is, will the Predators try and get one more play with 8, with 7, with 6? Fourth down pretty much coming up. And Nunez will take the snap, look and go Hail Mary for sure, looking. He'll throw along the left side, and the pass is intercepted by Stephen Lewis. The exclamation point, one for the ice cream sundae, and that will do it. It is a Lehigh Valley Storm win. They go to 2-0. An impressive performance by the Storm defense. They forced 5 turnovers on the day, 3 interceptions, of course 2 by Tajmir Flood, and that last one by Stephen Lewis on a diving attempt. The Lehigh Valley Storm, their winners 42-3 over the New York Predators here at Salisbury High School. Now, I was going to get JJ to say something, but I want to mention a thing which occurs at the end of each game, home or on the road. Now, this involves a player of the Lehigh Valley Storm named Corey Martinez. Now, Corey Martinez is listed as number 88 on the Lehigh Valley Storm, but he also has cerebral palsy. So what happens at the very end of the game is teams on both sides help assist Corey to run a touchdown at the very end of the game. So what they do is they call it Corey's play. And what they'll do is they're going to go back on the right side. Lehigh will be back to snap, and
Martinez
taking it slow to Corey, and there he goes. He's just gonna let him walk, and he's just gonna let him run a simple 35-yard touchdown. So Palsy will get his way into the end zone, and the official blocking him, and he spikes it just as he gets into the end zone, and the entire Storm team pretty much puts the icing on the cake there. It's a ceremonial play that takes place, of course, making something very special for him, and he actually does it for the first time at home as the Lehigh Valley Storm pulled together that win. It's always a very nice touch to see, because you don't see too many organizations do something to help somebody out who has a special condition.
Exactly, and he was so excited. He's done it on the road, and he's done it for other teams, but he mentioned that he grew up in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and how excited he was to score a touchdown today, and as you can see, he just did, and that's a great thing to watch, and I'm very happy for him.
And I'll have to say this much, it's always good to see something like that. I mean, it makes everybody feel good, and it involves everybody as, that's what semi-pro football is. It's about family, people playing for the love of the game, regardless of how talented or how not talented you are. The bottom line is, as long as you do the job, it makes it easy. I'll tell you what, this great crowd here at Salisbury High School, they came out for a wonderful night of football and military appreciation. They got both of them.
And they came out for a wonderful night of football, and they got some wonderful football from the Storm, from all aspects. And Jimmy Lehigh and all these guys just came out, and they played a great game from the start. A little bit of a slow start in the first quarter, just like the game before, but once the end of the first quarter and the second quarter started, they really never looked back, and the Predators really never got it started today.
As you've been listening to Storm Radio on Hot101.net, I'd like to remind everybody that we're going to recap this game really quick. The Storm began with a touchdown, I think it was like a 25-yard touchdown from Jimmy Lehigh to Devon Gordon, the first of Lehigh's 3 touchdown passes. That made it 7-0 on the opening drive for the Storm, but then the Predators drove down the field and got a 52-yard field goal from the kicker, which made it 7-3. It stayed like that through overtime. But then the turning point of the game, in my opinion, of course, was one of the 2 interceptions by Tajmir Flood. It then led to a 32-yard touchdown run by Sean Myers. That made it 14-3. Then, on the ensuing possession, the Predators had to punt to Stephen Lewis, who took a punt back 55 yards for a touchdown. Then, following another turnover by the Predators, Lehigh Valley Storm were able to get an 84-yard catch and run from Jimmy Lehigh to Michael Thomas, and that pretty much put it away. It was 28-3 at that point, and we're going to get halftime. Then Raheem Ridley had a 7-yard touchdown run with 35-3, and then just to put a few more pieces of whipped cream and chocolate chips on it, Jimmy LaHue got his 3rd touchdown pass as he threw the Keenan balls wide open in the end zone to make it 42-3, and that's how it ended. As you're hearing the song by Dragon Force, Fury of the Storm. I'm sure to find that on iTunes somewhere. They use that for every Lehigh Valley Storm score.
Yeah, and everyone ran real hard today. Raheem Ridley had that long run, and Sean Myers had the great juke and run, and that 80-yard touchdown by Michael Thomas. So Jimmy LaHue really went out there today, and I feel found his targets, and the defense did what they had to do. They were out there, and they set up the offense with great field position like they did in the first game for most of the time. Epperman had 2 missed extra points, but a great punt, and on kickoff did a very nice job also. So I feel that from head to toe, there really wasn't too many mistakes that were made, and the Storm put together a great game overall.
I really do believe so. They're 2-0 now in the year, defeating their opponents by a combined 76-9. The question is, will there be a repeat performance next week against the Northwest Giants? Any closing remarks?
Just they have to keep doing what they're doing, and they're playing great football. And if the defense lets up 9 points in 2 games, there's no way it's going to be hard to lose. And obviously, with a quarterback like LaHue and an offense, this Lehigh Valley football team is a very good team.
And I'll tell you what, nothing to take away from the New York Predators, but just keep this in mind: everyone's allowed to have a bad night. Hopefully ours won't come for a while, but if it does, get that out of the way. But it's hard to see the way things are going right now. Of course, the schedule's going to be challenging down the road, but one opponent at a time, and that's what the Storm have to do.
Exactly, and that's all you have to look at it, and we're 2-0 right now, and both games really have been, the second halves haven't been too competitive, so hopefully that doesn't factor down the road, being that they're not really in that tight knit of games, which I thought today was going to be, and I also thought it was going to be low scoring. But the Storm came out and scored 42 points overall, but only let up 3. So I honestly think that the Storm defense played great from start to finish.
And that's where you need to have a 60-minute game, and that's exactly what the Storm had. So this will pretty much wrap things up here from Salisbury High School in Allentown. Make sure you join us next week here on Storm Radio when the Lehigh Valley Storm take on the Northwest Giants of Philadelphia. It will be Camelot Youth Football Night here at Salisbury High School in Allentown. Kickoff is slated for around 7 o'clock. We're going to aim for 7. It might be a few minutes after. We'll see what happens here. But if you can't make it out to Allentown, you, of course, can click on lvstormfootball.com and look for Storm Radio, and you can listen to us right here. Crazy Tom and JJ will be here to call the action for you. But if you can make it, we'd definitely love to have you. I mean, we had a great crowd tonight for a military veteran appreciation night, and we're hoping that Camelot Youth Football Night will be just as big, especially in the Allentown area. Like I said, kickoff scheduled for 7 o'clock next Saturday. Once again, check out Storm Radio and lvstormfootball.com for all the latest information you need. So that'll wrap things up here from Allentown, Pennsylvania. For James Joseph, otherwise known as JJ, and the entire crew, of course, Steve Lombardo, the owner of the Storm, who I want to send crazy shouts to, and thank him as always for giving us this opportunity. It's a crazy one. Tom Wilkins here, once again giving you a final score here from Salisbury High School. The Lehigh Valley Storm 42, the New York Predators 3. Have yourself a good night, everybody, and hope you enjoyed this one from everybody here at Storm Radio at Hot101.net in conjunction with Major League Football.
We're off.